Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first Applebutter podcast. I'm Kyle Biss, singer and ukulele player for the Applebutter Express, and I'm excited to do this. I've wanted to do this for a long time, and I'm glad that my first guests were the Stadelman brothers, Kenny and Dennis Stadelman from the jam band Cope, who have been mainstays in the Tampa music scene for over 10 years. Go find them at therealcope.com. You can listen to some of their music and see where they're going to be. They're also just really good guys. They're some of my best friends. I just wanted this to be conversational. I wanted it to be microphones in a room and have us talk like we normally talk. I didn't really want to interview them. I think we were all a little bit nervous having microphones in the room. I think the nerves made me curse a lot. But I had a lot of fun. It was a blast. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, but I enjoyed it. This isn't officially a podcast yet because I'm not submitting it anywhere. I'm just going to put it up on YouTube and see how many people listen to it before I go through all the formalities of going through the proper channels to make it an actual podcast. So let me know what you think, and if you want us to do more, we'll do more. I've got some great people that have agreed to already do the show, and I would love to do it again. You can find us on the website at applebutterexpress.com. I'll also post links to it on our Facebook page, the Applebutter Express page, as well as my own personal page, Kyle Biss. I hope you guys enjoy it. This is Applebutter Podcast, episode number 1 with the Stadelman brothers. Have a good one, everybody.
Hey, 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 my brother. Hey, 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 my brother. You're a medium now?
You know,
I wear a large.
Sometimes I'm a small, sometimes I'm a medium. Depends totally on the make of the shirt. Like in Lucky Brand, I'm a small. Like, you know, like Nikes run big or small or whatever.
Right.
It's a lot like that.
I'm a medium in pretty much everything.
Is it hard to grab?
No. No, you hold it with the left hand on the neck.
Ah, shit. Just do Foggy Mountain because we all know it. Everybody knows it, right?
Everybody knows it. 1, 2, 3.
Foggy Mountain Breakdown. We did it, everybody. Welcome to podcast number 1 of the Applebutter Podcast. If you haven't figured it out already, we've got Kenny and Dennis Stadelman. How was your home team rally?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Me too. Highlights, lowlights.
I played with this band on Friday. Played some banjo. It was pretty cool, man.
Yep. Dennis came in and sat in with the Applebutter Express on Riley and chocolate salty balls and handguns and hammocks because you played Riley and handguns and hammocks. Dennis was on our first record. He played banjo on a couple of songs. And, well, that was when we weren't even a band. We just had 2 people in it, and the rest were all guest musicians. Matt and Joe are both on that album, but they weren't, like, officially in the band when all that happened.
And Matt was doing some engineering, too, right?
No, actually.
He was an assistant?
He was an engineer in college. That's what he went to school for, is, like, music production, I think. Okay. He went to Florida.
Wholesale.
He was, I get him confused. I'm not from Florida, so I don't care about the college football teams, but the ones with the Seminoles. He was a Seminole.
Florida State.
Florida State. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I just pissed off so many people. But
the governor.
He went to Florida State, and he came down here and had never been to the studio where we recorded at. When he came here, he met the guy that owns the studio and ended up getting a job there after we recorded there. So it worked out really good for him because he just came in as like a session player.
Oh, I didn't know that.
At the time, and ended up getting a job as like a studio assistant. And now he runs the place. He runs that whole studio, and that's where we're recording our next record.
Nice.
Makes it really easy. It's a nice recording studio.
Maybe we should record there.
I think you guys should definitely look at it. He just did Green Sunshine's record, and it came out great. Really, really good. And he has just like capabilities that not a lot of other studios have. He's got a fully functional Studer tape machine and some of the like just really old school compressors and all. It's all manly and the brand manly, not
I know. I guess
really nice stuff. It's not weird. There's a good reason for it. They record with Nuendo instead of Pro Tools there, which throws a lot of people for loops, and it can be a problem getting people maybe don't have the mastering programs for it, or like if you want to do work on it through Pro Tools, it's really hard to do. Or if somebody sends you Pro Tools file to open up in Nuendo, there's ways of doing it, but it's difficult.
So you can open it up in Nuendo.
Right. But the cool thing is like Pro Tools has found a way to like all the add-ons, all the plugins cost money. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I mean, just to get technical support costs money. To call the phone number to get tech support is like a hotline that charges you for it. It's very, very strange. So Nuendo doesn't do that, and that's why they use Nuendo there. And like I said, it can cause difficulties, but it works just as well as Pro Tools, and you get a lot more stuff for free, which is neat.
Well, pretty much once you get into 24, 48K digital recording, it's all about your converters and your preamps at that point.
Exactly.
Each program's just how do you like the user interface to work. And editing and things like that.
Right, and that was something that like became very apparent to me when we were at the Sound Emporium in Nashville. We got to see the actual reverb chambers that like Digitech comes in and like samples for their reverbs. Like they're these old smokestacks. Actually, the old Chrome Medicine show has a press picture inside of them. They got inside the reverb chambers. I mean, there's these little just like picture a hallway turned on its side that shot up 20 feet in the air. It looks like a chimney, but it's not a chimney. But it's kind of wild to see those exact reverb chambers. It's nuts.
Huh.
So we had Home Team Rally sat in with us. That was very fun. We appreciated it. Kenny, you ripped it up on Friday night. You got there on Christmas night, didn't you?
Yeah, we got there Christmas night after dinner, and we hung out till last night.
Yep.
About 8 o'clock.
Did you guys set up a tent or did you sleep in the van?
Yeah, we set up tents.
Yeah. Shane and I slept in our Camry, Toyota Camry.
Yeah.
Not as bad on the back as you would think. It was really the knees that get you. It's the fucking knees. You wake up sore. What'd you guys do for your last song?
We ended up doing. We didn't think we were gonna have time to do another song, so we had to pick something short.
Yep.
We did the No Sugar Tonight, New Mother Nature. And just kind of jammed it out a little bit, just kind of like a last minute decision on, on the stage there. So
very cool. We had controversy after our set.
Why?
Well, some lady was very, very upset about the Gangbang song.
Oh,
did not like it at all, and like
I love the Gangbang song.
Come on, man! It's a stupid, silly song, comprised completely of knock jokes. That's all it is
Yoda.
knock jokes. Yoda who?
Yoda bitch $50
for the gangbang. Anyways, we can play it later. We will play it later, actually. That's a good idea. We'll let you guys be the judge. You tell me what you think. But, no, my dad came up to me while I was still on stage, like, packing up stuff. He's like, there's some lady that is not happy right now. And she's real upset. And I was like, oh, God. And I felt, at that point, I was like, dude, I kind of want to go find her and talk to her. and tell her, because somebody else had told, it was Sean Legacy told me, I guess she was saying that it was about rape, which
What?
is like, whoa. So then I wanted to find the lady and just talk to her and be like, look, it's not about rape. It's about an orgy. It's about a sex party. That's what the whole thing is about. Well, I didn't go actively seek her out. I just hoped the whole thing was done. But we're backstage, and boy, she came back there and read me and Shannon the news, dude. And I'm just trying to tell her there's a huge difference between gang bang and gang rape. Yeah. Come on. Totally different. And she just wasn't having it. Anyways, it escalated and escalated and escalated to the point where I took my glasses off. Like, because I thought she might just take a swing at me. And if she hit me, I didn't want her to break my glasses or my nose. You know what I mean? And wow. Yeah. It was odd. Anyways, it ended up with...
I wasn't aware of that.
I had no idea.
It gets so much worse.
I heard somebody was upset, but I didn't hear
I didn't hear anything about it.
It gets so much worse. And like I said, coming into the whole thing, I wanted to talk to her like, my name's Kyle, and I'm sorry that you did not have a good time tonight because of one of our songs. I would like to try to clear it up or see if we could come to some kind of, understanding where she'd say, okay, I understand you meant this, and I thought you meant this, and maybe I was wrong. Or maybe I was wrong, or she could explain to me why I was wrong. But she just came at it, reading us the news about it. And it escalated to the point where she's in Shannon's face yelling, I hope you get raped. I hope you get raped. Wow. I hope you get raped. Over and over again. It's one of those where she's like in her face yelling. Wow. Like there's spit flying and stuff. Unbelievable. So then PK comes in and just kind of walks her away, right? And I'm like, well, at least that's over. That was awkward, intense. But wow. So then she comes back and starts calling us the N-word. She just starts throwing around the N-word left and right. Like, it was just wild. So then at that point, I'm like, okay, you're crazy. Like, how are you going to be offended about a song about a gangbang?
If you're using words
and then
like
start
that.
throwing around the N-word. Like, what life lesson do you have to teach me when you're going around doing that stuff at home team? Like, She said, when I walked away, I saw the hurt in every female's eyes when you sang that song. And I was like, why'd they keep answering the knock-knock jokes? Why didn't they walk away if there was hurt in every female's eyes? And I'll tell you why they didn't, because they have a sense of humor and they're sane. And that's what it is. Everyone knows it's a joke. And not to mention the biggest thing in the whole thing is it's Shannon singing it. It's a lady singing the majority of the song.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. You ever have anything like that happen? Any controversy?
No, we stay very politically correct.
Yeah, you do. You do. See, I always loved albums that said fuck in them. And we've still never said fuck on an album. I'm dying to say fuck on an album.
Well, I don't think we've cussed on an album.
No.
Yeah, well, that's good.
It's nothing we never made a huge deal of not doing. We just didn't do it. When
it just never came up. Just
didn't never do it.
When I started writing,
we
wanted to be radio stars. So we automatically write to the radio friendly.
Exactly, and
now that we're not so adamant about getting big on mainstream radio, it just never lost our training.
And that's where, like, I mean, when we did finally when we started working with a publisher, he's like, you might as well not send me these, just put these on your album, and because there's nothing I can do with them whatsoever, So what we've done now, where we have written songs, it's always just been shit. That's all we've said is shit over and over again. We're just reeling shit.
Words
right, but it's the one we've chosen multiple times on both of our albums, and it's just been a nightmare for our publisher. They don't like it. So we always do a radio edit. Whenever we're recording, we just do whatever. We went on TV one time.
Shit ain't illegal?
Yeah, on our we did a remix. We re-recorded it.
On the new album?
On the new album is It Ain't Illegal, so that we had both. There's a lot of people that told us we lost a lot of stuff because that was our first song on our first record. Like when we went to colleges, or like when our stuff got played for people that could book us places, the first thing they heard was that shit ain't illegal if they don't get caught.
Right.
So I'm conscious of it now. There's no reason to. I'm not gonna censor myself. I'm not gonna censor the songs. Exactly. But at the same time, I'm okay with that being track number 8 instead of track number 1 when you first pop in the record.
Song selection on a record is important.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
song order, man. And it might be a song that you think means the most to you, but you got to look at it in a syllables way, you know.
And when we made our
first, people are gonna hear it.
Yep. And when we made our first record, it was just this was a hobby. This was not. I didn't expect anybody to really listen to it. We were just making a record to make a record. Really, we weren't professional musicians by any means.
Right.
So I had no qualms about throwing curse words in the songs all through them, but now I'm cognizant of it at least. But I still want to get a fuck in there somewhere. I just don't want to force it. Can't force it. It's gotta be. It's gotta be natural.
It's gotta be natural.
You can't force it.
Oh God, they're gonna have a field day with this, or it'll do nothing. That's I told them both that one of the reasons I chose Dennis and Kenny is they're good enough friends that I know if this went horribly awkward, they wouldn't tell anybody. So that's a good thing. And Nelson's quiet. How you doing over there? All right. He's nodding. We got Nelson, the guy on the couch, just like Half-Baked. Other than our gangbang incident, though, with that lady, which I will also...
You're just coming into that show.
Right, yeah. If you just turned it on right in the middle.
With that lady.
But the one thing that did come of it was people were talking about the set. I hated it that that's what they were talking about, but people were still talking about it the next day. I hated that anybody walked away having a bad time, that anybody was upset after one of our shows, but can't make everybody happy all the time. And if somebody does, if somebody doesn't like
piss them all off.
yeah, and you can piss everybody off, but we didn't do that. We clearly didn't do that. There wasn't everybody. It's not like we lost.
No,
the crowd or anything.
I wouldn't even sweat it. She was just that's a her kind of thing.
People request
she took
that
out of
song.
it what she wanted to hear.
Absolutely.
She wanted to be offended. Some people do.
I think that's exactly the case. I think she probably had a few too many beers or took too much of what or smoked too much of whoever and was just looking for something to get offended about probably.
Yep.
I'm sure that she's had a lot of falling outs in her life over causing drama over crazy stuff. And I mean, it's not like, and here's the thing I want to make extremely clear is the song isn't about rape. We would never sing about rape. We would never joke about rape.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
I mean, not on stage, anyways. No, but seriously, we just that's not a funny thing. We realize that that's a huge problem in the world. We would never make light of that. Everyone else got it, but you. Everyone else got it, but you. That's what I wanted. I just wanted to tell her that. Like, she said, there's people here, you don't know what everybody here has been through. And I said, you're absolutely right. That's why we would never sing a song about that.
Yeah, it's not about what you think it's about.
Come on. There's a fundamental misunderstanding here.
Right.
Breakdown in communication. You ever forget words to your songs when you're on stage?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Does it? See,
yeah.
I don't
Not
ever...
me.
I do all the...
I the same songs.
Yeah.
Man, I watched video. I didn't realize it at the time. I knew I did it. I knew I messed up the words to Riley of all songs.
I was walking.
And dude, the look on your face when I messed him up, dude, you started cracking up. You and Shannon both did. Because there was no good save from it. I was like, like there was no good way around it. It happens from time to time.
That's funny.
I forget
I sang the
words.
wrong harmony for the first chorus and What Goes Up.
Did you?
Yeah, and it didn't help. I also didn't have a voice. I lost my voice over the weekend from talking over loud music and everything.
Where the hell did Julius go? Did he just go lay down in his truck or something?
Is this truck still out there?
Yeah.
He
He didn't want to be. He didn't want any part of this whatsoever.
He came straight from home team just a few minutes ago.
Holy shit.
He brought that bag of stuff for you.
Yeah, I got it. All that merchandise, all the flasks and stuff. I left it with the great Bean Spence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bean Spence let me run all our merch out of his tent this weekend because we played at 11 o'clock and they shut the merch booth down at 9. So it was good to have it someplace that was open.
We could run all of our merch out of a small handbag.
I did.
What do you guys got to get on it with the merchandise? I go to your. I know you had it because everybody and their mother has a Coke T-shirt, but. I promise you, they'll buy another one, and they want another one. It's so hard to come up.
Do some different designs.
It's so hard to come up with that initial money to get them, and it's even harder to save the money you make from them to order more of them. That's where I fail every time. It's always like
To be disciplined with the money so that you can reorder.
Yeah, I mean, we live off of our t-shirt money.
Everything you sell on the road.
Right.
That's where the bread. That's where we survive. Like everything else, all the money that like changes.
We ate it all. You know,
Yeah.
not literally, but we ate, put it in food in a gas tank on the road, and then we didn't have to come back with an order with. You know.
Yep. We used to stop for gas and food. Now we have to decide.
I'll grab the ashtray real quick. So you guys are gonna work on a record soon?
Yes, I think we're gonna do some recording in February.
No
That's what
kidding.
we're really shooting for is get in.
How many songs?
8 or 9.
Yeah, that's what we're shooting for.
So it's gonna be like 3 hours, huh?
Yeah,
3 hour
We're gonna try and
record?
keep it right around an hour. So we're gonna have probably, I'm sure, a couple songs that we'll stretch out on, but we'll definitely leave a space for it live. But give it a live. I don't know. I'd maybe try a few different kind of ideas on this.
Yeah.
Would be something. Let's see. We have some songs written, and they're definitely a couple songs that have different feels, and you know, they're still in that groove, fun stuff, but it's a little different than what we've done before and stuff like that. Not strange. You're different, like weird, like way different, but like,
Right.
it's just. I think it's just part of growth.
Absolutely. You don't want the last one to sound just like the one before
Right,
and the one
exactly.
before that and all that stuff, you know. I think 45 minutes is the magic number for us. 45
Yeah.
minutes is how long our album should be.
Ours are usually about 54.
Well, we had 5 tracks, and it was an hour.
It was an
or so.
hour, yeah. Our last album has 5 songs on it. It was
Going
an
home,
hour.
I think
Hour
had
long.
8 or 9. What did Going Home at? 8,
I had 10.
10,
Yeah.
and it was right an hour.
And it was about the same.
Incredible. That works fine.
Yeah.
5.
Technically, there's 6 because we do Dark Hollow in the middle of Swanee.
Yeah, there's only 5 tracks.
Yeah, but that's still one of the shortest tracks on the album. So
How long is it?
what?
Suwannee Scrub Down.
3 minutes.
No, that's
Scrub
like
Down.
7 minutes.
I think our shortest song is like 1:10.
Oh, really?
But we didn't write it. It was a cover. It was Hot Pussy. Hot Pussy's like 1:10 seconds. Yeah. I wish it was longer.
Babylon Man on Going Home was 4 minutes and 50 seconds. That's
Wow.
That's our shortest song up to this time.
So when you guys go places and like have to submit stuff to community radios or any radio station for that matter, do you guys ever take that into account, or is it pretty much just send them whenever you want to send them?
A lot of times we end up just
We
doing
usually
live
send them.
performance.
Yeah,
Just set up and play,
we've
Because then
sent
we
them
cut us off.
Babylon Man before to a couple of radio stations.
just because of the
Yeah,
length
'cause of
of
the
it.
length.
Because of that, yeah.
But that's a great song too, so it works.
Yeah, but
that's,
I would
you're
like
not-
to do some radio edits of some of the stuff.
I think that's a great
It
idea.
just takes some of the jam out because it gives you something special live anyway.
It gives you something special live, and there's nothing saying
Yeah.
your album version can't be different than your radio
Yeah,
version.
exactly.
But that's
Well,
a-
yeah, I have no
that goes
problem
back
with
to what
that.
you
I
said
like
about
having
your
different
first
versions.
song on the album being the song. We had that song's the one that's representing us. Is we've had so many people come up and says, "Oh, I thought you were more of a reggae band."
that's
'Cause
tough.
it's got a reggae feel.
Right,
So
well, and
I don't know if
Yeah.
we've lost, because we're not
People
an
think
authentic
we're-
reggae band. By
If
any
that's the
means,
only song you ever
so-
heard by us, you'd think
Yeah.
we were
And
reggae.
if you're looking for a
Right.
reggae act, you're not going to want us. You know?
Well, you guys are so eclectic though. There's reggae and classic rock and all that stuff in there. There's even like moments of like where it sounds electronic, even though it's all legit instruments. But
Right.
it is hard to pick a first song for you guys. Like what really?
Well, we got to go with the
Screams
funk
coke.
usually. We got to go with
Yeah,
something
the fun
funky. 'Cause
stuff.
That's
And
home
there's-
base.
There's a lot of people doing funk and stuff, so it needs to be something that's going to stand out.
Well,
Now we're
our
getting
funk's
into-
different. It's not
I
like
think we're getting
standard
a
funk.
little
though.
more rock influence back into it. We all started as rock players, and we all started trying to develop with other stuff.
Right.
And we all got way more versatile with different things, and now we're kind of inserting a little more rock and roll back into it,
Yep.
And it's making it a little edgier than it used to be maybe 10 years ago,
Thanks to
5 years ago.
thanks to Facebook and mostly your wife, we've all seen the pictures of some of you guys, pictures of you guys in some bands you were in back in Ohio. Did you guys ever sit down and have a cognizant decision? We're gonna have a talk. I think we need to make a complete genre shift, or did
Yes.
it just happen gradually
Yes.
and naturally? But no, there was a
There
conversation
was a
about it.
conversation when we lost the one drummer and we weren't playing out anymore with the other band that we were tired of being so limited to one style.
It was all young kids that weren't old enough to buy beer in metal bars, and they're just.
You have no market. You have no, and it just we didn't feel the music anymore.
You don't see people do that a lot. I mean, there are a lot of 50-year-old dudes out there still in leopard print spandex and mile high hair, and I mean. You just kind of look at them and go, well, bless your heart for sticking with it. But it seems like you guys did a really good job kind of being timeless. Like, hey, I see
we didn't really pick a style. I mean, because we were, towards the end of the rock band, we were like, well, we should do like a funky rock tune and a jazzy rock tune. It's like, well, why don't we just do a jazz tune and a funk tune instead of like everything having to have rock in it?
Well, a good piece of advice you gave me when we first met was pick a band that you really admire in a genre you admire and just really try to go to as many shows as you can and try to just learn as much about them. You said for you, I think it was String Cheese.
I studied the way they put their jams together.
Their jams together, right. And I think that was a great piece of advice, especially for me, because I'm in this weird place where our band is kind of a bluegrass band, but I don't know anything about bluegrass. Right. And I never had a lot of bluegrass albums. I'm not a student of bluegrass. Growing up, it was Ben Folds and Weezer for me.
I think it's only your instrumentation because your songwriting is so much more than just bluegrass.
Well, when
you have a bluegrass rhythm on a lot of your stuff, that two-step beat.
You're Americana.
Americana. And what the...
Fit right in Americana.
What the hell does that mean?
For everything.
Like, Americana.
Yeah, I don't know what that word is.
Baseball of music.
It's the baseball of music. It's the Americana pastime. You gonna go pick up your wife?
I do have to do that.
Good.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday. We didn't even talk about that it's Kenny's birthday today, and he was kind enough to spend some of it with me doing this. Be safe.
Right on, man. Thanks.
Have a good day.
You too, man. Thank you.
We're down. One Stadelman down, one to go. We're knocking pictures off the wall. You guys do. I'll take a picture of our setup here. We've taken over Dennis Stadelman's living room entirely. It's not pretty.
What's that?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'll grab your mic.
Yeah, Kenny was kind enough to let us try some of his microphones, but we didn't have a stand for him, so we don't need them though. I think this is. I might listen to this at home and be like, "Holy crap, this sounds."
You can always put a compressor on the track later, and it'll bring up the quiet and take down the loud.
This one goes in here.
Okay.
Yeah, see,
I won't forget.
That's the type of shit I have to call somebody for. Like, hey, do you know what a compressor does, and can you make this louder? Like, I don't know how to do any of that stuff at all.
I have one that you can hook up to there.
Very cool.
It's old though. All my stuff's outdated. I haven't upgraded anything.
I just was never that. I hate to say it, but I was just never that interested in like the technical stuff.
You weren't a gearhead, yeah.
I wasn't, but I'm trying to be better. Like that's something I kind of wanted to talk to you about. Like, all right, you play a Fender Strat,
right?
Mexican, American, Japanese.
It's an American Strat, but it's the simplest one they make. It's nothing fancy.
Old, new, vintage.
It looks about 40 years old, but it's about 10 years old.
We got to get you a new Applebutter sticker.
I know.
That thing, seriously, like you could charge bands for advertising because it's like a billboard, like. Because it goes everywhere and everybody sees it, and I catch
That's
myself. I have to read every single sticker.
Oh, really?
Maybe it's like an OCD thing, but every time I'm at your shows, I have to read every sticker.
That's funny. Well, then I should update it a little bit more. I just got a new Legacy sticker, so that'll be updated.
Perfect. So,
I don't have a Grandpa's cough medicine sticker yet.
Well, I know I know the people to talk to about it. Brett has been a good acquaintance.
Yeah, I like Brett.
I like him too. I've only spent limited amounts of time with it, but he
yeah, Mike too.
He sat in with us when we played in Jacksonville. He played slide lap steel.
Oh, the Dobro, yeah.
Yeah. Is it a Dobro though? Because I guess I was.
Dobro has a resonator on it, a metal resonator.
I don't remember having it. It seemed, I could be totally wrong because it was a while ago, but it seemed like it was one of those that like Roosevelt Collier's mobile rig, you know, the
lap steel. It's a solid body lap steel.
Yeah, I thought he was playing that. I could be wrong. He may have just had it may have been a Dobro.
I have a Hawaiian lap steel, but I don't have a solid body. Those things are awesome. Roosevelt's sick.
Yes.
I have not yet heard Brett bass on it, but I'm assuming he's really good at it.
Yeah, he is really good, and he's just one of those people that like. you don't really even have to tell him the key. He just knows.
No,
what
he'll
he's
just
doing.
hear it. Yeah.
You're like that too. I'm not like that. I'm not. I can't just do that. That's why. Lately, I've almost like refrained from sitting in with people. Like, I always just feel like, well, I'll just sit up there and strum a ukulele. I'd much rather sing. Like, I'd much rather come and sing something than just play the ukulele. It might be cool. Let's get another song in. We're gonna play Old Joe Clark. I don't know it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There it is. I only butchered it a couple of times, but it sounded nice. You guys play very well together. Nelson sounded great. How long? So you guys have been playing together for like 6 years. Nelson's a student of Dennis's.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, man.
When did you start teaching?
What's that?
When did you start teaching?
When I was about 15.
Really?
Yeah, I was sophomore in high school.
How long did you spend like in music stores teaching?
Oh, from about 96 to 2 years ago.
Always the same place or different places?
No, different places.
No kidding. Did you ever get, was that ever like a real like hassle? Like I could imagine that if you had a student in there that just never practiced, you'd ask them, why are you spending the money? But at the same time, it's like, what do you...
Well,
You're still getting paid. It's your job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I kept my mouth shut. I felt like, my time was being wasted, but, I was being paid for my time, so I just kept my mouth shut. But it's frustrating, especially when you see a kid with talent that just doesn't care.
Yep.
And they're just there because their parents want them to be well-rounded and play an instrument.
Right.
But
our fiddle player Joe teaches, and I think he runs into the same thing a lot, where it's really the parents that want
they just want their
kids
kid to play an instrument.
I started playing banjo with Dennis because I wanted to be more well-rounded.
Right.
But you wanted it for yourself.
Of course.
Like, as long as the kids want to be there, I want to teach them whether they have talent or not.
Right.
Well, everybody has talent. It's just some people learn differently. Some people learn at different speeds. And you can find ways to teach people.
Do you think to some extent, like, some people are really, truly just, like, born with it, and it's not something you can learn?
Some people just take to it so fast that, they don't struggle with it. They understand it. It makes sense to them right away.
But, I mean, I've met people that, in this world, that really did put in the time, and it's
harder
just
for them,
not there. Like, and I don't know... And I'm one of them. Like, I'm not very honest, and I've always been very honest, especially with you, that, like, I lack some serious musicianship in the playing department, that, like, I almost serve as more of, like, a personality in the band. I'm like the hype man. I
don't know. I disagree with that. I think you play very well.
Well, thank you. I'm fishing for compliments is all that whole bit was. But no, I'm very honest with myself about, like, where my role, where I fit in.
Right.
In this whole kingdom of
Well, you're there
music.
for rhythm. You're there for rhythm. You're great. I mean, you focus on rhythm as you're playing. Even before you were on uke, you were playing bass.
Right. And I think I'm more of a songwriter. I think that's my...
Nothing wrong with it?
Nothing wrong with it, but it like I was saying, it leads back to like me sitting in with people, like even just right then, you know, it's not, I can't do all the things I would like to do.
Right.
And I'm sure I could learn it, but...
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, why not?
Maybe but maybe I can't. I don't know.
I don't think that's possible.
The other thing to think about with and which is just the truth, is you don't see a lot of people soloing on ukulele in bands because it doesn't cut through.
Well, I mean, you can figure things out, though. You could use an effect or something. But the only problem I would see with you soloing in your band is the rhythm would go away.
Exactly. In Applebutter Express, the bass drum or the
you could loop, but that would kind of go against what you guys are doing.
Yeah, it's not. You
guys
our
are
thing.
like a natural band, you know what I mean? It's a very organic. It's live. It's even in the studio. You guys go live.
Right, and what I like, what's so great about our setup is it's the same everywhere.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? We can
That's
play.
Beautiful. Your mix sound guys gotta love you.
Right. We can play in a broom closet, or we can play on a huge stage, or we can play in a bus, and it's still the same. We did a show on a streetcar, like a streetcar in Ybor City. Well, it went all over. They went from Ybor to like Channelside, and
you guys would be perfect for the traveling stage at Wani.
Yeah, that would be very.
You guys
cool.
would be perfectly set up for that. That would be awesome.
Very cool thing to do.
We should talk to Charisse about that.
We should talk to Charisse about that. I would like that very much. Are you guys? Do you guys have anything big coming up that you're looking forward to?
Wani.
Yep. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's been my favorite. That's been one of my highlights of
OBJ
Wani
is going
Fest
to be
last-
insane this year.
I think it will be. I've heard some
It's
rumblings.
going to be the best one yet.
Let me put it this way: there's things going on at OBJ this year that we can't talk about. We can't even tell people about
can't
it.
even say it.
It's amazing.
Russ is awesome, man.
Russ is really like, I've never met somebody that put as much work into something and stay so. I can't figure out what I'm trying to say. Humble and like it's all selfless. Like it's
selfless.
not to.
He doesn't do it for his own benefit.
And
He helps everybody else
exactly.
out.
And
like right now, he's at the shop setting up for the New Year's thing. He's setting up sound.
And he just spent 4 days
doing the sound
out in
and
a
lighting.
field doing a sound and lighting for home team, and it was it was amazing this year. Every time I see him, his rig gets more and more impressive.
Right.
It's cool. And like I like what they've got going on with the iPad too, and all the things you can do with soundboards now. Like he ran sound for us at a festival in Sarasota and just saved it. And now whenever he sets up sound for us just about anywhere, all he does is pull up Applebutter and it's bam, right back up on the board, and all the faders are automated and just go shoop right to where they were the last time.
That's awesome.
It's like
Man, technology, and they can walk around with an iPad and do sound from the stage. They can stand on the stage and do monitors, then walk to the front, walk to the sides, and get the sound everywhere.
Yep. Or you still Russ and Andy are the good ones, but you still get the guys that disappear. Your iPad doesn't help me if you're
at your campsite
getting pizza.
Yeah.
Not them. I mean, Russ and Andy did such a good job. They're I always feel a sense of relief when I mean, like when we showed up to that gig I was telling you about in Sarasota, where they first ran our sound and saved the profile of it or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were going to be there. It was like a pleasant surprise. I just showed up and they were there. And it's always such a relief when I see them setting up that I know it's going to sound good up there.
Yeah.
So, and
Funky D had the other stage sounding good this weekend.
Funky D does an amazing job. He's come through for us so well the last couple of years running that stage. And I'm glad this year to see that he had a little bit of help at least. He had some other people back there running the board that knew what they were doing and were there to help him load in and load out. But just the stuff that, I mean, between Russ and Funky D, they're the days, and for the festival to be the day after Christmas and for everybody to pull this off was huge this year. Cody Bean killed it. I thought everything went as good as it possibly could have gone for being the day after Christmas. You know, I was exhausted. I was tired. But I was once I got there, I was so happy to be there.
Yeah. It was nice and the weather was perfect.
Yep, the weather was absolutely perfect. Couldn't ask for better. The first year it was so cold it hurt, but this year the weather was, I can't imagine.
Yeah, the first year was really cold.
Super duper cold.
That's when I played with you, because we didn't do that one because we were doing the Zach Deputy show. Or no,
State Theater, Bobby
State
Lee
Theater,
Rogers.
Bobby Lee Rogers show.
Yep.
Zach Deputy was at your show.
Yup. But no, I always look forward to seeing you guys at Wani. I started to get into this earlier, but I kind of jumped off subject. So you're playing a Fender American. What'd you say? It was 2001.
Probably 2002 or 3.
2002 or 3.
I got it used at that place that used to be near the Tile Outlet on Hillsborough, Legends Guitars.
Out of your guitar.
I go into a TS9 Tube Screamer.
Okay.
Ibanez overdrive pedal. Jim Dunlop wah pedal. Pretty old school, like an analog echo. Then I have a rotary simulator made by Boss.
I love rotary simulators.
Yeah.
I was in a band with a guy before Applebutter that had a rotary simulator, and once I heard it, I wanted him to use it on every song. And that's why I'm not really allowed to use pedals anymore, because I do not use them tastefully whatsoever. Like, I was experimenting with wah pedals and stuff, and I
get nervous when I see a bass player walk up with 30 pedals.
Yeah, I do too, absolutely. But I noticed in you guys' set at Home Team, though, Kenny was using some amazing effects.
Yeah, he's got some cool stuff.
I hadn't really... I don't know if I just hadn't heard him or hadn't noticed him, or maybe Russ just had him dialed in so I could really hear some of the effects that Kenny had going on, and it was amazing. It sounded wonderful. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a Boss. What's that, BE50?
Yeah.
Because I think the ME50 is the guitar one, right?
Okay.
He's got the bass version.
So you go out of your rotary simulator. If you don't know what a rotary simulator is, Hammond, it mimics the
a Leslie
cabinet. Yeah, not a yeah. It's a speaker that spins and gives it this echo effect.
But if you listen to Bobby Lee use a real one, there is a distinct difference.
There sure is.
It's just like a Hammond organ or a keyboard with a Hammond sound on it.
Yep.
No matter how good the keyboard gets the Hammond sound,
yeah,
there's a distinct difference between a real one.
Is that the transistor sound you get?
What's that? It's
the transistor sound that you get.
What do you? Oh, the wobble 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 kind of thing.
That transistor sound.
Yeah.
The transistor radio, like that.
No, that's the whammy pedal actually.
Yeah.
That's I have a Digitech whammy.
That thing is cool.
I use that like one song.
And that was gonna be my next. So what? Well, let's just get through all of it. Was that all the pedals, or is there? Do you have more?
I have a
stuff
loop,
in
but I don't use it for cope.
Right, it's just for solo.
Sometimes
stuff
I'll loop the beginning of Going Home, the riff, so that I can play melody over it.
Very cool. So out of your how is it? So you use the whammy for like one song.
Yeah.
What else is like in heavy rotation? Like what else?
Nothing. I just use the overdrive pedal pretty much for leads or for harder songs.
Okay.
I play pretty much just playing the Strat through the 71 Fender Super.
You got a tuner on board anywhere?
Yeah, I do have a Boss tuner in
Yeah.
line.
It's just in the middle of everything.
Yeah. Well, it's first.
Does that work as your mute?
Yeah, it's a mute, and I tune. And then for the banjo, I use that same thing you use, the Venue, the LR Bags Venue.
LR Bags Venue. Probably the brain of my rig. That's my workhorse.
I use a snark on the banjo, though, because you never know when that tuner's going to come on or not.
Same thing. I use the
You ever
snark.
notice that?
You have to click it. If it sits, you have to click it a couple times.
Oh, you got
Yeah.
one too?
Yeah.
No kidding.
You got me mine.
See, now the thing that I've got going on with mine right now is the tuner light doesn't work, so I'm never quite sure.
The lens fell out, but I can still see it glowing in there.
Oh yeah, see,
It's
my
just a
light just
hole
doesn't
now
work
when it
anymore.
glows, yeah.
But I love that. That was I tried yours out first before I bought one. I bought a bunch of other different preamps, and the bags just blew everything away. It had
It's
everything
amazing.
I needed all in one. What a
A
great
dog
tool.
got on stage at one of the festivals we were doing and chewed on one of the knobs, and it still works fine. It's just got little doggy teeth prints in the side of the knob.
Yep. So at least you can tell which one's yours.
Yeah.
Mine's the one that's been chewed on.
It's got character, but
Made a
it
meal
works
out
like
of
a
it.
charm. Nothing's ever even like seems to go bad on it. Like none of the jacks are bad.
When you play
Everything.
the banjo, do you use the boost on it all the time?
All the time.
See, I do the same thing with the 8-string ukuleles. The boost is on always.
Which helps when I'm playing acoustic gigs. I'm switching back and forth from guitar because I can just turn the boost off and then adjust the volume on the guitar to pretty much to where I don't have to change anything on the board.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
everything's right in front
Yeah,
of you.
just turn off the boost and then just adjust the guitar where it's not too loud, and I can use the same channel.
Would you rather have a sound guy that is constantly adjusting everything, trying to fit
No,
the song?
I want to do everything on stage.
Or would you rather have a sound guy that, like, gets your levels and then just kind of backs off, but is there for emergency?
A good
or
sound
whatever?
guy, once you finish sound checking and you start, he's damage control.
It drives me nuts.
A good sound guy should not be doing stuff the whole night.
It drives me nuts. And maybe people don't get this that aren't out doing this a lot, playing music where the sound is run for them. is that it can be the most frustrating thing, because if the sound is bad, you spent all the time rehearsing to make it tight and to make it sound good.
No matter how much work you put
and
into
working
it,
in the
can be
harmonies.
ruined at the last second.
At the end of the day, it's in this guy's hands that maybe has never seen your band, or maybe you dated his girlfriend in high school, or you parked too close to his car before you got there, and he's just in a pissed off mood. You know what I mean? Like, how many? Seems like a lot of sound guys have like kind of a chip on their shoulder, and I don't know.
I've noticed that.
I don't know if it's that like.
Well, it's the only job I can think of that the entire time you're doing your job, somebody is at your booth telling you how to do your job.
That's true. That's got to drive people nuts that run
the entire
sound.
time they're running sound, there's somebody at the booth telling them what they're doing
And
wrong.
the people, bless their hearts, they think they're doing them a favor, but they've also got to understand, and I want to talk about this too, that everybody's ears are different.
Yeah.
It's a fact of the matter. But there's been scientific studies about people that run sound and people that are on stage a lot, that there's a range. I don't know what it is because I'm no scientist, but it's like between a certain hertz or whatever you hear, the measurement, unit of measurement,
the range, frequency range,
frequency range. So it goes bad, and
well, you go deaf to frequency,
right? Exactly,
Absolutely.
you go deaf.
That's
to
why you can't mix
frequencies.
for very long in the studio. If you mix for too long in the studio, you go deaf to certain frequencies, and then your mixes will be terrible. You have to stop, leave, totally clear your head.
I think that's something that everybody that's ever recorded has gone through, where they recorded something, listened to it,
Sounded great.
mixed it for too long, sounded so good when you left.
Then the next day,
And you get there the next day and it's like,
it sounds terrible.
we don't have it at all. And then what's good about that though is usually the performance is there and you can fix it. Most of the
Right.
time it's not like I need to record that.
Well, because you can tell if you played it right or not.
Yeah, definitely. But there have been times where I've really walked. Like you said, you listen to it 150 times in the studio, and then what's the first thing you do? If
Pop in your car.
you pop it in your car.
Yeah.
So you listen to it all day long, 155 times. But the litmus test is still for every
It
musician.
doesn't matter how it sounds in the studio.
What's it sound like in your car?
Or in the cheapest little boombox you can find.
I like to put it on my laptop because my laptop speaker's so.
Yeah, you should put on the worst set of speakers you have.
I could listen to them through these headphones. You like my headphones? They're Schmeats. Schmeats by Schmray.
What did you say? You had Schminier monitors?
I had Schmears monitors. Yeah, that was our Christmas present to each other as we got rigged up in your monitors. Matt, our bass player, got the badass Shure whatever's the wireless that run on.
He's a definite gearhead.
Oh, he's such a gearhead.
He loves his gear.
Oh, he's gonna listen to this.
He knows his stuff too.
If he listens to this, he's gonna cringe and be like, "Kyle doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about at all." At all, and I don't, but I'm interested in it. I
Right.
love looking at people's gear and hearing about what they use and what they've got and seeing new and different things.
Right.
So out of your pedal board, you're going to an amp. What are you using?
71 Fender Super Reverb.
Cool.
410.
Do you always mic it, or do you go line out?
always. No.
Always.
Yeah,
Do you
I
go?
never line out a guitar.
Oh,
Unless it's acoustic.
You never do ever.
Never, ever.
Not even as like a backup channel.
Not in the studio, not...
No kidding.
Never. Unless it's a scratch track so the drummer can hear it and I don't want bleed through. If we're recording drums, this is the only application I'll ever run direct is if we're recording drums and he needs me to play along.
Scratch, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
it's not being kept.
when we record, I always have I always use a DI box. Just it's one more frequency. I feel like in the studio, like
Well, an acoustic instrument with a built-in preamp.
Yeah.
That's what you... Or
Right.
if you're using a preamp, then yeah, definitely. But an electric guitar through an amp, that's not meant to be heard. It's meant to be heard through speakers. That's part of the sound.
everyone always wants to know what effects the Bags has. It doesn't have any. There's
Doesn't
no
have any
effects.
effects,
It's
no.
an EQ. That's
For
all
me,
she wrote.
it's got two sweepable mid-range frequencies to where I can get rid of the treble frequencies on the banjo, and I can turn it up as loud as I want without feedback.
Yeah, what you do with this Bags is you actually, when you get on stage to sound check, if you can, you try to make it feedback, and then
And you
can,
turn the frequency knob till you find
until
it.
you find it, and you just get rid
Spike
of
the
it.
gain, and... I mean, not spike, but bury the gain,
Yeah.
and then look for the frequency.
Yep.
And you got two of them to choose from.
There's not a lot of them out there that do that.
Uh-uh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
I
pretty
mean, they have
cool.
graphic EQ. Then
Yeah.
you can find that exact frequency, but I'd rather just do it with two sweepable.
Yep. Bingo bango, easy peasy. So you're going, well, I'm sorry, did you tell me what amp you're using? Fender Twin?
Fender Super.
Fender Super.
Silver face.
Do you, is it in good shape? Do you take care of it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's in a road case and a flight case.
All right. Is it vintage? How old is it?
71.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it's not 71 years old.
I got you. 1971. Where'd you find it?
It was left to me by a good friend when he passed away.
You got he also left you a Telly too, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the backup.
That is a beautiful guitar.
I love that thing.
Honestly, not to hurt your feelings. I've always been a Gibson fan. I've always been a fan of Gibson guitars.
I grew up playing Les Pauls.
But when
I'm holding a Gibson.
That Telly that you've got is one of the prettiest. I don't know if that's a custom color or if that's afterwork.
It's a standard black sunburst.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Do they still have that?
Probably.
That's a really pretty guitar. It's a really pretty Telecaster. That was involved in a car accident, was it? But it's all good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's got a little crack, but it's done. It's fixed. I fixed the nut too because there was a chip in it.
No kidding.
Fixed it with JB Weld.
So, all right, I'm just gonna ask you a couple of questions here, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up. This is where it gets all interviewee on us here. Just stuff that we've talked about some of this stuff before, but I think it's what people would be like. Well, I would love to ask Dennis Stadelman this. Like, in the scheme of this whole thing, we both I consider us colleagues. I consider us like we're in the same line of work. We're out there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's why I feel like Orange Blossom Jamboree and Home Team, those are our plumbers conventions where we go see everybody's, what everybody's working with, and you talk shop, and I love that.
Yeah.
Like,
just see what everybody's been doing the rest of the year and stuff.
Right. And in our situation, and I know in your guys' situation, a lot of people think that in some circles, some places, they would say that Dennis Stadelman, you've made it. You are a goddamn rock star. You're there. You're out there on tour playing shows, and to some people that's just you're a rock star, and you are. But what will have to happen for you to be like, we're there. We've got it.
I guess to where it's self-perpetuating.
Yeah,
to where you don't have to work at it anymore. People come to you, like say the big bands like Fish or whatever.
Yeah, well,
they don't have to. I mean, they don't have to advertise. All they have to do is post it.
And you're just talking about the business side of it, really.
Yeah. Right, well, no, I mean that it does include like the fan base.
Right. No, I just mean you've always got to work on the music. That's always got to.
Well, yeah. Yeah. You're correct.
Right. Just like the logistics of it.
The marketing is self-perpetuating.
See, and I wonder if that ever really happens, or if it is people turning.
I don't think Fish has to advertise anymore. I think they just post it on their website and everybody knows.
Right.
There's forums that people try to find stuff out.
So you won't feel like you've made. Sorry. So
I'm not saying as big as them. I'm just saying to where people come to.
They're looking out for you.
They look to find.
They look to find where you are
instead of us telling them when we're playing.
Very cool.
That to me is when you made it.
Yep. See, I think I don't think we're going to see rock stars again for a very long time.
Yeah, I don't think that exists anymore.
I don't think we're going to see that anymore.
I don't care. I don't need that. I've never wanted that.
All I want to do is be able to pay them rent comfortably. Yeah. I don't need...
Maybe when I was 18 I wanted that, but yeah, but I mean, I have no use for any of that.
Right.
I just want to play music and be able to afford to do so.
And I think we're honest with ourselves in the sense that we have the potential to become extremely, extremely popular, more than we can even probably think of. But given our genres, the chances of us being top 40 radio MTV personalities...
We don't get mass media. You have to go town to town, festival to festival, reach the fans directly.
Grassroots, that's what it's about.
We don't get TV, we don't get any of the mass media.
It's almost like all the technology has put us back in the 20s. Like, all the technology put our industry back so far.
Record sales are gone. No. Now you have to tour if you want to make a living.
I think one album, right until like a couple of months ago, only one album had gone platinum this year. It was Taylor Swift's new album.
Right.
Which,
unless you're selling to 13-year-old kids, usually record sales aren't going to do anything. And even those kids download most of their music. Yeah, and
it's just they can't figure out a way to make it they can't figure out a way to make it the way it was. They just can't. There's no way you can erase.
You can't go back.
Right, you can't go back. It was Pandora's box.
They can up the fines and the penalties, but it's not going to stop.
It's not going to stop anybody. There's no way they can get everybody. There's no way. There's no way.
Like you said about people reading your messages, if and you'd be like, yeah, good luck arresting everybody.
Yeah. Exactly. That people are worried about, what they text and if the NSA is watching them and everything. If you look at everybody's cell phone, you're gonna find something on everybody that they're doing wrong. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just this. It's too big. So it's kind of a scary proposition that there are people listening to your messages and things like that.
Most people would be like, this guy is just stupid.
Exactly. I mean, if they saw just some of the text between you and I mean, nonsense.
They just think we're nuts, yeah.
Joe, I will wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and for no reason at all, at 3 o'clock in the morning, Joe Trevette has texted me the words horse fucker. Just for no reason at all. I just open up my message, it just says horse fucker. Not you're a horse fucker, or I saw a horse fucker. It just says horse fucker. That's all it says. And so I wonder, like, what is the dude at the NSA? Is there a guy sitting there just reading horse fucker, and he's just got to fill in all the blanks on that one, But so you just want it to be self-perpetuating, where you don't have to do as much.
It's where I can afford to play and not have to worry about doing other stuff, so I can't play.
All you're worried about is the music.
Yeah,
all you're
exactly.
worried about is making sure that the next performance is the best performance it can
possibly be. And I'm writing
be.
music and expanding my playing and things like that. Yeah.
Do you think that there'll be a time for you guys or for you personally where you just won't want to play music anymore?
No.
I don't think so either. I don't think that'll ever happen to me.
If that ever happened, I would be in such a miserable state probably that it wouldn't.
I think that I hear about guys that stop playing professionally and just don't play anymore. They haven't picked up a guitar in 30 years.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't get that.
I don't understand that.
Not one bit.
Like, I've been playing out less, but I play at home more.
You guys are smart for you're using your head about it and trying not to oversaturate it. So when Cope plays, it's special.
Yeah.
And that it makes every show a really awesome show. Shannon and I have been playing we've been hitting this area really hard, and I love it, and I love everybody. But I mean, like, how many more times can you go see the Applebutter Express in one venue? You know what I mean? I love everywhere we play, and I love all the people that keep coming out and seeing us. But I mean, it reaches a point where you gotta go outside of your home base. I love it here. I love playing here. Skippers and the Ale and the Witch and all those other places. Every place has been so good to us. But there comes a point where you gotta get yourself out there. They're not gonna come looking for you. You gotta bring the mountain to Muhammad sometimes. Yeah,
we when we do that, a lot of times we use outside sources. We don't have any desire to be hooked up with anybody as our full time. They do all our booking, but when we go to a market we've never been, we'll use a booking agent from that market on commission base. How's that worked out for you? Great. Good. Great. That's awesome. That's the best way. Yeah, absolutely. I would like to look into that because I'm at my wit's end. Tracy Edwards is a good one for the North. She's amazing. Yep. I feel like we've taken it as far as we can on our own. Like, we need some help now getting outside of Florida. The problem is when you're talking about Syracuse, New York. I don't know that's the second time I've referenced Syracuse today. I don't know the difference between Skipper's Smokehouse and Skipper's Smoke Bar, or Skipper's Pub. Like, those are the things that I need to know about. Like, Skipper's Smokehouse is awesome, but Skipper's Backroom Pub. What is? These are just hypothetical. Oh, okay. This is I don't know the difference between. I don't know what the good venue is from. I could very well book us at a metal venue for all I know. I got you. That has happened. Right. Oh, it has happened. I think at some point, everybody that's ever played music. This shirt. It was on stage. It was somebody left merch behind. I don't even know what it I can't even read it. I have no. Sick theory. It was in this metal rock bar we played in, and it was just folded up on the stage. I said, "Is this belong to anybody?" They're like, "Somebody forgot it." And I was out of clean shirts on tour. That's you. That's my shirt now. I was like, all right. I'm rocking the Scythe Theory. I like it. It says Cithara Fruit. Root? Gustafson? Sky Smithenson? Skytheria. Something like that. Leviathan. There you go. It's something like that. Well, thank you for doing this with me today. Absolutely. This was podcast number 1, the Applebutter Podcast.
I'm excited to hear what people think when we get this put up, and if they like it, maybe we'll do more. The idea later on is eventually to turn this into, every other week, I go get my acrylic claw put on. I use acrylic fingernails for playing the ukulele, and Shannon gets her nails done, and we get them done by a lady named Jillian, and her company's called Nails by Jillian. And she's anyways, the idea is that every other Tuesday or Wednesday we get another person to come in there with us and get a manicure. And every time we're in there, we end up laughing till we're crying. It's always like the funniest 2 hours of my week. So I want to bring special people in there to go get their nails done with us.
And do a podcast?
Yeah. She has, okay, so she's got like her little table set up. She's doing your nails. Off to the right is a massage chair that she's named Sven. Okay. Sven is my chair, dude. That's all I'm saying. But we want to bring different people in there. So I hope that coming up soon you'll come in and get you. We're calling that the Getting Your Nails Did episode twice a month. So everybody can look forward to that. So sometime in the near future we'll have to come in and you'll get your nails did with Applebutter. I think part of the fun of that is getting people that would never get their nails did. Right. You know, she's always trying to get me to like do something, like put a design on it, or like I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't be that guy. I don't know if my dad will talk to me anymore. I'm just kidding. My dad would totally talk to me, but that's, you know what I
don't know if I'd have. No, I already know I wouldn't ever have anything painted on my nails.
Well, I don't want people to even know that I use the acrylic nail. I tell everybody. It's not like it's a secret or anything, but it's like, I go get my nails done every week. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of an odd thing to say coming from my
classical players background.
Do it. Classical players do it, and it's the best thing that ever happened. It's the best thing I've done as far as body modification. Like, no, I was having serious troubles with my nails breaking, and then my fingers would bleed, and then I would change the way I was strumming, and I was hurting my wrist.
Yeah, I remember. And then you tried super gluing pieces of towel to your finger.
All kinds of shit. I tried everything.
You tried the finger condom thing.
Yep. I tried the duct tape, super glue, different kinds of super glue.
And you just kept bleeding all over your uke every time you were playing.
Yeah, it was gross. It was bad news. And
gluing the fingertip back on.
And I played horribly. I played horribly because of it.
That nails changed your life.
Yeah, it really. I mean, there were points I was never like, well, this is really bad and this could end the career. But looking back on it now, if I hadn't started doing the acrylic,
your finger would be destroyed.
What's that?
What made you think of that?
I'd heard of classical players doing it, and a couple of people had recommended it to me that I tried getting it done.
Jake Shimikura, he does it too.
What's that?
Jake Shimikura.
Oh, I don't know if he does or not. I have no idea. A lot of classical players do.
Nails. He's probably used acrylic. I would assume.
He doesn't use a pick. I know that much.
She's talking about doing acrylic, but she says you can never go back.
It's true. I think I'll always have an acrylic nail. Like my actual fingernail is like soft shell crab under here.
Yeah,
it
would come back eventually, though, right?
I think eventually, but it freaks me out, man. It's like a weird thing when they do, because very rarely does she take all of it off to put another one on. But when she does, it's fucking weird. It's like soft shell crab. It's very brittle and it's uncomfortable. It doesn't hurt, but it's uncomfortable. But just when it's off, once she puts it on there, it's hard as a rock. I mean. No. That's not going anywhere. I mean, they hang stuff from mountains with this stuff, and it doesn't break. Like they
make fish tanks out of it, acrylic.
Yeah,
those saltwater fish tanks, the big reef tanks, those are acrylic.
All kinds of stuff. So I mean, this thing isn't going anywhere. I chip away at it, but no, it's the smartest thing I've done to keep the playing going. So we'll have to have you come in and get your nails done with us eventually.
I'm just glad we finished the podcast talking about nails.
Yeah, that's a good way to finish it. That's a good way to end it. We'll see you next time, everybody. Thank you so much, Nelson, for joining us and playing banjo, and thank you, Dennis, and we'll see everybody next time. Have a good one.